So I've unofficially called them the All-Staters of West Virginia Studies. As you may know, and students I'm sure that you will remember, the Golden Horseshoe test originated from Governor, thank you, Spotswood. What year? 1931 was when the award began to commemorate Governor Spotswood of the colony of Virginia back in 1716 when he commissioned 50 of his men, probably not women at that time, although he missed out, didn't he, to cross over into what was known as Western Virginia because he just knew there was something to the west of the Allegheny Mountains. Little did he know that one day the great state of West Virginia would be discovered that we are all citizens of and proud contributors to our state, led by our great governor, Governor James Justice, who I'm going to introduce right now. Some of you might know this, and Governor, President Gee at WU told me one time that he said, welcome to the club, sir. And I said, well, what club would that be? And he said, well, it's the club where if you mess it up the first time, they have you come back a second time and try it again. So I'm on my second go-around as state superintendent of schools. But I have to tell you, one of the things that appealed to me when I expressed interest to President Campbell, members of the board, was the fact that Governor Justice is our governor. I don't need to read this script for this. He is a tremendous individual. I've known the governor for a good while. I have never met a gentleman in the truest sense, a greater champion for children, a heart for our students in West Virginia. He has a heart to see us prosper in West Virginia, as evidenced already in an amazing one-year turnaround in our economy. I can remember the first state of the state, and our economy was in a deficit. And I was so proud to watch the numbers flip literally this year, and there are more great things to come. His wife might be Kathy. They're proud grandparents, by the way. Just newly crowned grandparents. His wife, Kathy, might be the nicest governor. You did good there. She might be the nicest lady I've ever met in my life. She is authentic and she is just wonderful. And I am just so proud to be on your team, sir. I would like to present to you, and I have to tell you, he has a 10 o'clock meeting. A very important meeting. If you haven't noticed, we're dealing with road bonds and the economy and so forth, and he has a lot of things to do. He'd love to stay, but he asked me to express his regrets that he'll have to step out after his remarks. But he didn't want to miss this moment to be with you, our 221 honorees, your parents, your friends, your grandparents, and others. May I present to you Governor James C. Justice II.
Oh, no. Now, please, y'all. Okay, you're very kind. Now, sit down, please. Well, first of all, I thank you. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here. I thank Dr. Payne and all the great people, whether it be our board, Brother Tom that's looking after the presidency of the board, and Commissioner Leonhardt over there, and you know, it's just, and all you wonderful, wonderful parents and in-laws and outlaws of all this crowd. You know, Dr. Payne mentioned Kathy, and Kathy and I go all the way back to high school sweethearts. We've been married 715 years now. And Kathy is sweet. And we have these two little, and I've got to tell this, I never would have thought, I have no notes, I just talk to you. But we have these two little Boston Terriers, and they sleep in the bed with us every night, and they're our buddies. And one of them is pretty new, and she's only about 6 months old now because we lost one of our dearest friends, one of them not long ago. But every night just about, which is not a good thing to do, but about every night before I go to bed or something, I get something sweet to eat or something that I shouldn't. And this particular night, and I always give a little piece of it to both of the little bulldogs, and they smile and they're happy. And this particular night, I ate my little donut or whatever, and I didn't give any piece of it to either of the little bulldogs because they were outside. So we turn off the lights, and it's typical for us, it's 1 o'clock in the morning when we go to bed because I don't ever sleep, and I work, I really do. Now, so as we turned the lights out and went to sleep, all of a sudden I heard Kathy yell, "Stop, Ellie." And I said, "What are you doing?" And so Kathy is holding her blanket, and the little bulldog is trying to pull the blanket off of her, and it can. And then I said, "Why is she doing that?" And she said, "Because she wants a piece of that donut, Jim." So she had to get up and give the little bulldog a piece of donut for us to be able to go to bed. But she is sweet. And let me say just this. Today is an exceptional day, an unbelievable day. You have an athlete here that stumbled into a base and broke his leg because he just wasn't paying attention, and I'm teasing. But oftentimes we do this. Dr. Payne mentioned All-State, and oftentimes we relate All-State to an athletic accomplishment. I've been a coach forever. I've never cut a kid, and I've never had a kid become grade ineligible. Never. And the reason for that is because I stress to them the importance of academics. In the first State of the State address, I said, education should be our centerpiece. It should not be something that we just have to necessarily fund. It ought to be something that we invest in and become an economic driver for us. It can bring more to this state than anything we have. Just think about our image beyond this state. Think if people beyond this state really believed that West Virginia had an incredible education system and incredible people like all these people we see here and all of you. It would be an economic driver beyond belief rather than people on the outside thinking we're dark and dusty and dingy and backward and all the bad things that you've heard forevermore about West Virginia. We're changing, and we're on the move today. Now, this is absolutely concrete solid with me. I love these kids, and I know you do too. I love their achievement. I tried to become one of them and didn't make it. My wife tried to become one of them and didn't make it. The heritage and the history of this state is unbelievable. And I would say just this. Think about it. If you're a frog and you're not proud of your own pond, then you're not much of a frog. And that's what these kids and that's what you've done. 1931, 87 of them won this prestigious award. Like Dr. Payne said, 22,000 plus try, and 221 succeed. You are something beyond belief, and you are All-State. Now, you're on your way. Do greatness. The reason I ran for governor is one thing and one thing alone. And that is, there may be someone here that loves this state as much as me, but there's no one here that loves it more. That's all there is to it. I don't want a thing. I never have wanted a thing. Sometimes you've got to make some tough decisions. We have really changed who we are to the good way. And we have opportunity and things happening in West Virginia. Where you may have wondered where you're going to end up in life, today you may actually believe and have hope that we're going to have the greatest opportunities in life for you right here. You're not going to have to go to Charlotte and Denver and all over the world. Right here's where we want you, because we don't want our families fragmented anymore, and we want to bring people back. Let me tell you, and I'll end with this. Years ago, we had the Greenbrier Classic. And in the Greenbrier Classic, it was a time that I could get on CBS and brag on who we are and brag on West Virginia. Now, I didn't have a thought in my head in any way, shape, form, or fashion of ever running for governor at that point in time. But there I am on CBS telling how great West Virginia really is. Because I want the world to know it. I've wanted it forever. I can't stand the fact that we've been dead last in so many things. Now, and then there was this little guy, and I wish to goodness I could think of his last name. And he, out on the golf course, he walked up to me and he grabbed my hands, and this is the absolute gospel truth. And he was trembling, and he said, "Mr. Justice," way before I ever became governor, "Mr. Justice," with tears running down his face, he said, "My name is Bob whatever." I still cannot remember or recall his name. Tears running, he says, "I'm 87 years old. Thank you for making me feel proud about who I am and being a West Virginian." Now listen, you don't need Jim Justice to make you proud beyond belief of who you are. You have accomplished the unbelievable, and for that, I could not possibly be more proud. I mean it when I tell you that I love you. I love kids, and that is to a fault, but I love the fact that you are our future, and you should be so proud, and I know you are. So I'll leave you with just that. God bless you on the great day, maybe the greatest day of the year for this state. That's all there is to it. Go on, shoot for the stars and beyond. Believe with all your heart you can do it. I am living proof that one time I was skinny and now I'm not. One time my grandparents had no indoor plumbing, none. And now I'm your governor. In all honesty, you can dream and you can get to anything you want in life. You have a jump start beyond belief. And you have great people that are working with you. These are the greatest. So I'm blessed to have these and all of y'all, and especially proud of you guys. Thank y'all so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, sir. Thank all y'all.
Oh, you're going to do that.
Again, we thank Governor Justice so very much for taking time from his extremely busy schedule to be with us this morning and to share those words with us today. We have several other special guests with us today that I would like to introduce at this time. If I may, when I call your name, if I would ask you to please stand as you're introduced and remain standing. And I'd also ask our audience if we could just please hold our applause until everyone is introduced, please. Thank you. So with us today, we have Dr. Stephen Payne, State Superintendent of Schools. Mr. Tom Campbell, President, West Virginia Board of Education. Mr. Miller Hall, Parliamentarian, West Virginia Board of Education. Mrs. Deborah Sullivan, Member, West Virginia Board of Education. Mr. Kent Leonhardt, West Virginia Commissioner of Agriculture. Mr. Randall Reed Smith, Commissioner, West Virginia Division of Culture and History. Somewhere in the audience he may have left with the governor. And I would also mention that Commissioner Reed Smith is an honorary Golden Horseshoe recipient. And let me back up and say that President Campbell, just a few years ago, was the recipient of a Golden Horseshoe also. Okay. See, it's a date you never forget, isn't it, Mr. Campbell? Exactly right. Thank you. We have Mr. Clayton Birch, Associate Superintendent, West Virginia Department of Education. Dr. Jan Barth, Senior Advisor, West Virginia Department of Education. And of course, most importantly, we have our student honorees with us today and all of the parents, families, friends, and teachers who are with us today. And we thank all of you for being here today. Now we can applaud. I think this group today, Dr. Payne, may get the gold star for the most attentive and direction-following audience we've ever had. and we do thank you for being here today. Has already been stated, the Golden Horseshoe Test has been administered in West Virginia each year since 1931 and is the longest running program of its kind in any state in the Union. So we are quite proud of our state and its history. And today we do share the common bond of being proud West Virginians, and certainly the 221 young people who are receiving this award today represent a very bright future for our great state. And I am truly honored to be a part of this day. It's a day that we do celebrate being West Virginians, and we also celebrate the freedoms that we have as Americans. Reading the names of the recipients today, and I'm going to ask them to stand, and as I read their names, I'm going to read their names. Gloria Burdette, who is Virtual Schools Coordinator with the West Virginia Department of Education. Monica Delamea, who is Executive Director of the West Virginia Department of Education Office of Early Learning, and Mr. Joe Geiger, who is the Director of West Virginia Archives and History. Thank you for reading the names today. All right, just a few directions before we get this show on the road, as they say. Now, we know that our students who are being represented today and honored today have learned a lot of important facts and information about our great state. Students, I need to know, are your parents and friends and teachers as well versed in the state as you are? No. Oops, this could go downhill fast. So I have searched the archives of the state, and I have found some interesting facts that I don't know that have ever been a part of the West Virginia History Test, but we're going to test the audience to see if they know. So if they don't know, guys and gals, you may have to help them. So this is easy, true or false. So you got a 50-50 chance. The first court in the United States to allow videotaped evidence, which ended up convicting a drunk driver, was Charleston Municipal Court, West Virginia. True. I'm feeling better. Jackson's Mill is the site of the first 4-H camp in America. True. Oh, you're gaining confidence. This is good. In 1984, West Virginia University player George Ann Wells became the first woman to dunk a basketball in a college game. Oh, yeah, now, see, y'all are getting gifted this. And then, true or false, we got two more questions. Charleston, the host site of the Golden Horseshoe ceremony, is the place to be today. True. Yes. And then final question, and I know you're going to get this right. To have the ultimate Golden Horseshoe ceremony experience, all cell phones and other electronic devices should now be in a silent mode or off. Thank you very much. Okay, all kidding aside, we are going to get down to business now. There's no nice way to ask people to turn those things off. And I made sure mine was off too. Today, during the ceremony, Dr. Payne has the honor of knighting our Golden Horseshoe recipients. State Board members President Campbell, Parliamentarian Hall, and Mrs. Solomon, along with Commissioner Leonhardt, have the special honor of presenting our knights with their pens. So just a few directions as we begin the ceremony. We do have an official photographer who's sitting center stage in the front row, who will be taking photos of each and every one of our students as they come over and are knighted by Dr. Payne, as well as the group photo that was taken earlier this morning, as some of you were already gathering in the Great Hall or in the theater. And we'll make sure that everybody gets a copy of that photo courtesy of the Department of Education. We will also provide you with contact information for the photographer should you want to order additional individual prints or group photos, and you'll get that information when some information is sent to all of your homes a little bit later. After the ceremony, you are welcome to take as many photos as you want to. If you want to come back in here and take some additional photos, you can. The Capitol grounds has wonderful spots to take photos, and we encourage you to do that after the ceremony today. We also ask that everybody please not move about the theater during the proceedings so that no one's view is blocked, and also that we don't block the photographer and everyone can see each of our students participating in the ceremony. So with that, Golden Horseshoe candidates, here's how this is going to roll. You're going to be called in alphabetical order by your county name. As your chaperone back here is going to tell you when to stand. You're going to come down the steps. As your name is called, you will come to the center stage. You're going to kneel at the bench. Dr. Payne, we have yet to lose an ear in the ceremony, is going to knight each student. When he puts the sword on the inside shoulder, you're going to turn around, not stand up, face the photographer so they can get an excellent picture. When the photographer gives you the thumbs up, that means you can then proceed over to our board members and Commissioner Leonhardt, receive your pens, some additional congratulations, and then you're going to go back to your seats on that side of the stage. So we're good. The pressure is always on the first county to get it right, but they got it. They got it. We got confidence here. It is a tradition as we begin the Golden Horseshoe ceremony that we begin with the trumpet fanfare performed by students from George Washington High School under the direction of Mr. Mark Hardman. Mr. Hardman actually wrote this fanfare especially for the Golden Horseshoe ceremony. At this time, I would ask everyone to please stand and join me in a round of applause as we ask our student musicians to center stage for the trumpet fanfare. Thank you, Mr. Hardman and George Washington High School trumpeteers. At this time, I would like to ask the front row of students to now stand and proceed to the lower stage.
Okay, let us begin. Barber County, Seth Harris.
We're going to to give Seth applause for being first and getting it right. But we would ask that we please hold our applause until after all students have been knighted, and then I promise you this place will roar with some applause. Thank you.
Elizabeth Kittle. Isabella McNabo. Berkeley County. Nate Adams. Miles Crockett. Natalie Diedericks. Ronald Kelly. Dominic Marandola. Dominic Malika. Charles Paul. Jacqueline Power. Danica Props. Ryan Reel. Boone County. Brett Adkins. Joshua Jenkins. Cody Nance. Ava Wells. Braxton County. Levi Damastus. Get his crutches. Joseph Johnson. David Martin. Brooke County. Leonard DeWitt. Edward Marks. Brooke Oler. Cabell County. Luke Hatfield. Jacob Lee. Elijah Literal. Margaret Piaskowski. William Pitkin. Savannah Smith. Marshall Welch. Calhoun County. Lindsay Posey. Clay County. Dylan Greathouse. Matt Shelton. Ava Taylor. Doddridge County. Riley Curran. Jack Hudson. Fayette County. Jacob Adkins. Gavin Sanford. John Kincaid. Maggie McAllister. Gilmer County, Jacob Hardwick. Scott Price. Grant County, Anna Goldeisen. Ashley Roball. Greenbrier County, Tristan Deeds. Abigail Herndon. Haleyana Holiday. Jacob Wickline. West Virginia School for the Blind, Gavin Earl. West Virginia School for the Deaf, Faith Grissinger. Hampshire County, Grace Bond. Alex Hott. Tristan Kyle. Hancock County, Alexia Brown. Kristen Figaro. Was that Kristen? Matthew Howard. Madison McKay. Hardy County, William Barb. Hunter Hines. Branson C. Harrison County, Gino Cava. Ashley Denson. Bruce Keener II. Brody Nolte. Elizabeth Rhine. Emma Samples. Jackson County, Hannah Cottrell. Andrew Francis. Raina Pinson. Mackenzie Yarbrough.
Jefferson County, Nicholas Bennett. Nathanson Gageby. Colin Gudel. Molly Hanscom. Brendan Zampino. Kanawha County. Holly Black. Emma Carpenter. Isabella Cinco. Madison Deweese. Margaret Glover. Abigail Hill. Cameron McCoy. Jackson Morris. Thomas Pauley. Grace Payette. Susan Prigozhin. William Rains. Yazin Shams. Luke Surface. Lewis County. Chloe Butcher. Noah Hamrick. Jalen Sprouse. Lincoln County. W. Aiden McLeod. Logan County, Tristan Burgess. Eric Cochran. Hayden Farley. William Kirkendall. Marion County, David Dara. Broderick Hall. Carmela Lilly. Aiden Smith. Jesse Wade. Marshall County, Abigail Carney. Cheyenne Connor. Riley McIntyre. Chloe Yoakum. Mason County, Gabrielle Corbin. Colby Price. Ryan Tatterson. Austin Weichel. McDowell County, Richard Gibson. Savannah Hickman. Devin Mullins. Mercer County, Sophia Lipscomb. Derek Modad. Isis Prince. Catherine Webb. Mineral County, Eric Guy Jr. Eric Harvey. Hunter Powell. Amaya Runyon. Mingo County, Sebastian Chaffins. Drew Lee. Hunter McCoy. Oh, excuse me, Wyatt McCoy. My apologies. Hunter Runyon. Monongalia County, Caitlin Blosser. Nolan Cook. Alice Gyo. Elijah Hall. Elena Kurov. Julia Layden. Rachel Shockley. Monroe County, Elijah Amos. Lauren Ballard. Brianna Smith. Morgan County, Brent Baker. Kane Michael. Caitlin Rossignol. Nicholas County, Braden Adkins. Zachary Carpenter. Abigail Lucas.
Ohio County, Noah Blair. Braden Keene. Elizabeth Wolf. Luke Wright. Pendleton County, Cheyenne Frazier. Emily Teeter. Pleasance County, Thomas Powell. Noah Stover. Pocahontas County, Hunter Curran. Aiden Madison. Preston County, Kylie Christopher. Haley Hart. Alex Main. Gracie Seipolt. Putnam County, Paige Bradley. Caden Fields. Austin Kyle. Carter Ledman. Matthew Olivero. Ryan Williams. Raleigh County, Brianna Godby. Austin Jameson. Joshua Lovell. Lacey Meadows. Keenan Richardson Cook. Matthew Williams. David Young III. Randolph County, Anna Crum. Braxton Kinney. Anne-Marie Rochella. Isaac Wetzel. Ritchie County, Charles Copeland III. Lance Nutter. William Wyndham. Roane County, Elijah Eastman. Zane Tanner. Zachary Taylor. Summers County, Hallie Rhodes. Darrell Sharp III. Logan Willis. Taylor County, Alena DeNike. Caitlin Dedamore. Cameron Wiles. Tucker County, Clay Poling. Amara Snyder. Tyler County, Garrett Ammons. Michael Phillips. Arden Weekly. Upshur County, Amelia Pearson. Dade Riley. Aiden Wilson. Wayne County, Brandon Frazier. Bailey Parsons. Stanton Perry. Kayla Pratt. Webster County, Logan Fletcher. Wetzel County, Adeline Conaway. Andrew Heil. Faith Yoho. Wirt County, Michaela Bailey. Wood County, Malmo Akita. Jonathan Daggett. Carter Eddy. Natalie Gillis. Kelsey Golden. Alec Holbert. Anna Martin. Wyoming County, Mia Flame. Austin Helmandaler.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a thunderous ovation for our 2018 West Virginia Knights and Ladies of the Golden Horseshoe. Thank you. And another special thank you to our readers, Dr. Payne, Commissioner Leonhardt, State Board members, and Mr. Birch. Another special component of this ceremony is the awarding of honorary Golden Horseshoes. The recipients of these awards are exemplary educators or community members who have made outstanding contributions to West Virginia. Honorary Golden Horseshoes are given annually to individuals who have achieved at least one of the following: produced at least 10 winners of the Golden Horseshoe Award, taught West Virginia studies for at least 20 years, or made other significant contributions to West Virginia or the Golden Horseshoe program. 3 outstanding individuals were selected for honors this year. As I read a summary of each honoree's contributions, I would ask each to come forward for their induction and pinning. As I read your name, honorary members, if you would come forward to the stage, I'll read your biography, and at that time, Dr. Payne will knight you, and you will receive your pins from our honored guest. Eric Akers. Mr. Akers is a middle school music teacher from Cabell County. County Superintendent Ryan Sachs nominated Mr. Akers for his contributions in developing young musicians and artists, noting that these efforts will promote West Virginia culture and heritage and should be commended and recognized. Mr. Akers is the son of Willard and Vicki Akers. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Akers. Watch the sword. Congratulations. Daniel Gatz. Mr. Gatz is a West Virginia studies teacher from Marshall County. County Superintendent Jeffrey Crook nominated Mr. Gatz for having 15 students who have won Golden Horseshoes, in addition to his students continually winning West Virginia History Bowl competitions. Mr. Gatz and his wife Pam have 4 children. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Gatz. Maynard Hay. Mr. Maynard Hay is a West Virginia studies teacher from Wayne County. County Superintendent Todd Alexander nominated Mr. Hay for coaching 20-plus Golden Horseshoe winners and his team's commitment and wins at the West Virginia History Bowl. Mr. Hay and his wife have 1 daughter, Savannah Elizabeth. Ladies and gentlemen, Maynard Hay. Congratulations to each of our honorary members. A few final instructions as we come to the close of this year's ceremony. The Charleston newspapers have partnered with the West Virginia Department of Education by sending a photographer to take the group picture, and we truly appreciate their ongoing commitment to the Golden Horseshoe program. That picture will appear in the next edition of the Charleston paper. We will include a copy of that edition of the paper along with your certificate for the Golden Horseshoe Award and your group and individual photos in a mailing that will be sent to your homes in June. I would also add that the pictures that the governor's photographer took this morning, as well as videos that are being taken by the West Virginia Department of Education, will be available soon on the governor's Flickr page and the Department of Education's social media page. So you'll be able to find lots more pictures and videos of today's event. Students, and parents and guests, when you leave the theater today, there is a reception in your honor. Buffet tables are set up in the Great Hall of the Culture Center, so the Great Hall is where you gathered before you came in. And there are also 2 tents out on the Capitol lawn with tables and seating for you to enjoy the food. Due to the construction that is in the Capitol Rotunda, that's why the reception that was moved to the Great Hall today. We ask that everyone please be patient while everyone moves through the buffet lines. If you live anywhere near Hurricane and Milton and you're dealing with the traffic, this will be a piece of cake today. And we do guarantee that we have plenty of food for everyone. We will exit the students first. They'll go through the buffet lines, and then we'll dismiss our guests and our parents. As the students do exit through the side doors, they will proceed through the buffet line. Parents and guests, we do ask that you remain seated until we get most of the students through the line. And then parents, guests, you're invited to enjoy the food and find your students. Now this is where it gets tricky this year. So when the students exit, they're going to exit the side door. You'll need to notice if your child or student exits this door or that door. For students who exit through the right side, they are going to meet their parents in the tent that's on the right side of the grounds. And if your child exits through the left side, you're going to meet your child on the left, in the tent that's on the left side. And there will also be some limited seating in the Great Hall. Following the reception, you have the option of participating in either tours of the State Capitol or self-guided tours of the State Museum. All Capitol tours other than the museum meet in the lower rotunda of the Capitol. Keep in mind that if you do go to the Capitol, you must go through the security checkpoints that are on either the west or the east side of the Capitol. And the closest entrance to the Capitol is the one directly across from the Culture Center. Capitol tours begin at 1, 1:30, and 2 o'clock. And if you rode the shuttle from Ladley Field over to the Culture Center today, please remember that the last shuttle service is at 3 o'clock. Important to note that 3 o'clock time. We would like to thank all of our special guests who joined us today, all of our parents, teachers, administrators, family members. We especially thank the West Virginia Culture Center staff, the Capitol tour guides, and the General Services staff at the Capitol for helping in today's event. Ladies and Knights of the Golden Horseshoe, the honor that you received today placed you in a very elite group of West Virginians who are quite knowledgeable about our state. I know that this achievement brings a great deal of pride to each of you, as well as pride to your parents, your teachers, and your family, and your community. Great things are expected of each of you. We thank you for being with us today. Hope that you enjoy your reception and your tours. Ladies and gentlemen, I would ask that you stand and remain standing to honor our Golden Horseshoe recipients as they proceed out the theater, and then we're all going to sit down until we get the cue to go back.